everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing some of my Wings of Fire tribe headcanons. Those of you who don't know what a headcanon is, it's slang that fans make up that they imagine to be canon to the actual series. Hasn't been confirmed, nor is it a part of the story, but allows fans to create their own ideas for things that happen in their favorite fictional worlds. So none of these are canon to Wings of Fire, they're still some of my favorite things I've imagined about the series to expand on the world just a little more. I'm totally fine with you using these for your own stories and AUs, by the way. Before we start the video, a huge shout out to my patrons! Crazy Roblox Man, Dark1195, Springtail Productions, 3 Moods, and Just a Grookie. Thank you so much for supporting me. Links to their social medias are in the description down below. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, here are all my different tribe headcanons. There's a secret mudding castle that's a hidden temple deep in the swamp or jungle, the heartland of the kingdom, or in the outskirts. While it has been abandoned in recent years, in the past was used to host secret meetings amongst the most trusted military leaders of the time. Also, MudWings love bandanas, cowboys, and the Wild West just as much as the SandWings do. MudWings are a tribe that values folklore, and some of the most common stories passed down from generation to generation are about MudWing cowboys and their adventures. SeaWing Aquatic has dialects and slang depending on where you are in the kingdom, similar to how ASL differs slightly from place to place and has its own dialects and slang in different regions. For example, SeaWings that live in the palace would have a much different dialect or accent for aquatic than SeaWings that live near the deepest ocean trenches. SeaWing pirates also used to exist, but eventually became outlawed after a war nearly broke out between the SeaWings and the SkyWings. During Darkstalker's day, SkyWings and some other tribes who tried to take after them showed off their wealth by the boats they owned. They would ride on boats when traveling to different diplomatic meetings, but the ships would often get raided by SeaWing pirates, who would often even kill the wealthy dragons inside and steal their riches. RainWings decide their main colors in a special hatching day ceremony. When a RainWing dragonet turns 1 year old, they partake in a special ceremony in their local village where they'll discover what they want to look like. Their primary colors typically stay that way for life and are a reflection of their usual personality and temperament. Also, the RainWing royal crown is similar to Namor's helmet in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, with linings of feathers on it as well. Some queens choose to wear it, while others don't. It depends on a queen's preference, but Glory does wear it from time to time when working with other tribes. Queens like Magnificent wore it often. The NightWings have a huge love for zodiac signs and astronomy. They once even believed that being born under certain constellations would give dragonets some kind of an advantage, like a sharper mind, longer lifespan, greater beauty, etc. None of this was actually proven to be the case, and eventually they forgot about their past beliefs when they fled to the volcano. It is rarely something that is done today, even in the rainforest. The NightWings are also big on superstition. SandWings have special musical festivals and parades, where they play instruments such as bongos, banjos, and flutes. They do them to honor the moons, memorable days in SandWing history, and even the gift of music itself. It's a huge tradition, and nearly every dragon in the entire kingdom attends. It is seen as a huge honor to your family if you perform in some way during the festivities. Festivals can last from several hours to even up to a few days, and SandWings drop everything to attend. Even dragons who don't live in the kingdom, such as hybrids living in Possibility, are so welcome and usually come to see all the festivities. IceWings have a special feast every 7 years to honor the Great Ice Dragon. Believed it to have given them the gift of animus magic, before its true corruption was discovered, dragons with the ability would perform miracles and shows for attending royalty and special guests. In modern day, traditions consist of eating a large feast, but instead of using magic, the IceWings express their gratitude for all the gifts they have been given by animus dragons in the past. It has now become a day of reflection and thanks. SkyWings are incredibly loyal and mourn the loss of a queen more than any other tribe. They hold extravagant funerals that have been known to last even up to a month. The finest jewelry is placed beside the body, that way the queen can have some of her riches in the afterlife. The body is placed on the highest peak, so the queen will be close enough to the clouds to reach them on her way to the next life. This tradition is not in place today, although with Ruby's reign, dragons are considering continuing the practice when she passes. However, the body sites of the queens were often raided for the treasure they contained. One point in history, this caused a brief war between the SkyWings and the SandWings because they saw it as such a huge disgrace and an act of extreme disrespect. And another one. SkyWings once considered rubies to be the greatest gem of them all, even valuing them over gold. Though this has changed, the tribe still has a love for gemstones and rare ores. Before Wasp won the Tree Wars, SilkWings would gather together en masse and weave large tapestries to celebrate new queens. Like the RainWings, their royal challenges didn't involve death or even family lines. they all thought as one and would elect a dragon fit to be queen. To show their support for her service, the best weavers in the kingdom would create a massive tapestry for the new queen. It would be seen as the greatest honor to have one done of you, and they were the SilkWing way of recording history. However, when Wasp took over, she ordered all of the tapestries to be burned. Not a single one remains today. The HiveWings originally thought eating insects to be a delicacy, and only the highest royalty and richest class members served them at parties. However, after a theory was released by journalists the HiveWings could possibly be related to insects and reptiles, they soon stopped consuming them. In the modern-day kingdom, insects and reptiles are often kept as pets and treated as family. In the average HiveWing home, it's not unusual to see a lot of different kinds of insects. Some even eat at the dinner table. LeafWing scales change colors with the seasons. During winter, their scales are brown with even specks of white that resemble fallen snow on their backs. During spring, their colors shift to a pretty light green and pink. During the summer, their scales are several different shades of green, and some even develop floral patterns near their talons that fade with the changing seasons. Some examples would be roses, poison ivy, etc. During autumn, their scales change to a brown or orange color with flecks of gold and faint traces of red. In the Flames of Hope, Tui describes 𝙈𝙤's blood as being blue. While it's unknown whether this was a mistake or not, here's a list of what I think each tribe's blood color should be if it had to be changed. For the IceWings, it would be dark blue. For the SeaWings, it would be light blue. For MudWings, it would stay the same as red. For SkyWings, it would be red, although a fire scale's blood is gold, and a dragon with no fire scales are a pale yellow or tan. SandWing blood is black, NightWing blood is red, purple, black, or blue depending on the NightWing's abilities. Regular NightWing has red blood, an empath has purple, a seer has blue, and a mind reader has black. For RainWings, pink for females and orange for males. For HiveWings, they have light green blood. For LeafWings, they have dark green, and for SilkWings, they have purple. Anyway, that's our tip this video. What Wings of Fire tribe headcanons do you have, and which of these is your favorite? Let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!